Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back to another edition here of Intuitive Angling. Thanks a lot for taking some time to watch the video. Really appreciate that. And today I'm going to give you what I consider the 3 best Texas rig plastic worm tips that you can possibly use, because I think a lot of times on the channel here, since I come from a tournament mindset, I think that a lot of the tips maybe that I give are at times for a little bit more advanced anglers. So I definitely want to include everybody. If you guys, some of you guys out there are just getting started out or intermediate, or even if you guys fish a lot, some of these tips I'm going to show you here may really help your plastic worm fish, and I think you're going to find it really interesting. So real quick before we get started here, just wanted to give you guys the daily reminder. Please hit that view products tab. When the video starts, it'll say view products at the bottom. If you guys want to help the channel here and you like what I do and you want to support the channel, one of the best things you can do is just hit those products, check them out. Channel gets a small percentage every time you just click on one of them. That's much appreciated. Okay guys, plastic worms, man, arguably the best bass bait in the history of fishing. They've been catching fish ever since they came out 70 years ago. Still as effective today as they always have been, and they will continue to be so, simply because they don't telegraph themselves. Baits that don't telegraph themselves with some type of a vibration or noise are the ones that hold the test of time. That's why your baits like your whopper ploppers they've got a short lifespan when they're really good, and baits like a plastic worm are just as good now as they've ever been. So I'm going to show you guys 3 of the things that I do with my Texas rigs every single time that's definitely going to help you out regardless of your skill level. Some of you guys that have watched the channel for a long time may have seen some of these. We're going to reiterate them. So the first thing on your plastic worms you want to do is rough them up, break whatever salt's in them. Now some worms have more salt than others. You know, it just depends on the brand that you use. If you use a bait like, say, a Yamamoto or something like that, they're heavy salt and you'll really notice it. But I've got a Zoom. This is the Zoom Magnum Ultra Vibe Speed Worm here. It's got what I consider moderate salt in there. So what I'm doing is I'm just roughing it up. And what this does, when I break that salt up inside of the worm, it makes the worm a little softer. It makes it more pliable, gives it better lifelike action. And the thing I really like about it is it sort of gives it a little bit different color, like it's sort of been beat up a little bit. So this is one of the things I do to every one of my worms, rough them up to begin with. The next thing you want to do is on your Texas rig. Just hold on one second, guys. The air conditioner kicked on here. I'm gonna turn it off, close the door real quick. On your Texas rigs, I like to use them not unpegged if I can get away with it, but if I'm pitching or flipping around some type of cover, I peg it. One of the things you want to do when you're pegging, do not use those bobber stoppers. Everyone uses bobber stoppers. The reason you don't is because they hold the bait too tight in position. You can see here, I've got it's a little rubber stopper here. It's just a little rubber insert that you put up in the sinker. A toothpick works just as good. But the advantage to this is when you use a toothpick or a little rubber insert, you can control how tight it is. So I want this sinker to be able to slide down a little bit. I don't want it to be completely locked in place. I want it tight, but I also want it to slide. Because what happens is when that fish jumps, I want this sinker to separate away from the hook, where it's just the hook in its mouth, and the fish doesn't have near the leverage, and you'll land a lot more fish with it. So if you can't find the little peg stoppers here, I think they're called peggets, you can definitely just use a toothpick. That's number 2. The final thing, guys, number 3, and there's a lot of tips, but I'm just going to give 3 today. Use a straight shank hook all the time. Now, a lot of you guys use the EWGs because they're convenient, they're easy to put on. I use this Gamakatsu G-Finesse straight shank worm hook all the time. And the reason I do it is, number 1, I think a straight shank hooks the fish better, but it has to do with the way that I rig it. Come in with about 1/4 of an inch there, and after you come in, what you want to do is do not hook the point of the hook back in the worm in the middle like that, like a lot of people do, or even more like that. Don't hook it like that. You want to take it and you want to skin hook it just in the side. And I'll show you what I mean here. just barely skin hook it in the side there. And what this does is when that fish hits and bites, all you have to do, it just tears loose of that from the side there, and you got the fish. If you put this worm hook back in the middle of the worm, it's basically becomes so hard to hook the fish because you have to penetrate all that plastic there. So just try sticking it just in the middle there, and it's going to add up to a lot more fish for you guys. So anyway, guys, that's just the 3 tips that I use right there. I think if you try those, it's going to help you catch, not only going to help you get more bites and help you catch more fish, but it's going to help you land more fish once you hook them. So give it a try, guys. That's tried and true. It works for me really good. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please hit that subscribe button. And please hit the notification bell, man. If you hit that notification bell, then you don't miss any videos when they come up. That'd be much appreciated. Talk to you guys later.